Ohio. Here's one of your own. Give him a hand.
Hey guys, this is John Downing with Downing Powerlifting Systems. It has been a very long time since I've made a video for you. Probably since the Arnold, and that was, well, in February of last year, well, February 2015, so it's been a very long time. I know a lot of you have been wondering about my absence. A lot of it has just been job related, and then really over the summer I had a lot of great opportunities come up. And a lot of them dealt nothing with training. I happened to go on a missions trip to Zimbabwe in the end of July of 2015, and that missions trip certainly put a break into my training for lifting, put a break into my training for Raw Nationals. But that missions trip to Zimbabwe was just simply an amazing thing. It certainly changed my life, and I came away from that missions trip with a lot of ideas and a lot of things which I want to share with you today. That missions trip to me was for outreach through my church, but I left the trip with so much more. And so the big announcement today I'm going to go into is talking a little bit about my missions trip and then what I'm going to be doing going forward. So the last day of my trip, literally 4 hours before I was to jump on the plane and head back to the United States, we were visiting some community centers around Harare in Zimbabwe. And one of these community centers, we were walking through, we were talking about how we can help it, how we can grow it, you know, put a water tower there. And we were walking around a corner, I heard a faint sound. Now, I've been around a lot of weight rooms, and I know the sound of metal plates hitting a rack, a floor, anywhere in this world. And I heard that sound, and I walked around the corner to find this small room, 4.5 feet by 9 feet, literally, the size of the space. And this is at the Glenora Community Center in Harare. And at that point, I realized truly what the purposes of this trip was for me. And what I came to realize is that powerlifting is an amazing sport. And too often, powerlifting is a sport that is located primarily in first world countries. And coming from this missions trip, I realized, because of all the connections I have in the sport, the passion I have for this sport, that I could do something more. And so what I'm here to talk to you about today is that something more. I came back from the trip on fire to spread the sport of powerlifting. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I have started a nonprofit organization. That organization is called Lift for Life. There'll be links below me here on YouTube, sending you to the website created for that. I have an Instagram account set up for it, as well as a Facebook page. Totally 100% just for this purpose of spreading powerlifting to other countries. I encourage you to visit the website where I detail out my process of how we're going to go about spreading this. And I'm happy to announce too that the first center of which we will be setting up a training facility to start to train powerlifters is in Zimbabwe. I created the relationships there, and we're growing from that point forward. And the first place is even going to be at Glenora in that 4.5 by 9 foot space. We will be building our first powerlifting training facility there and start to train powerlifters in Zimbabwe. This is just a huge passion for me. Moving forward, this is what I'll be putting a lot of my time and effort into. I have a lot of people helping me out with this. It's certainly not something that I'm taking on by myself. It was my dream though from the beginning. Certainly something that I left the country knowing I needed to do. And going forward, I'm going to be, building relationships with other countries, visiting countries, and figuring out where we can start these facilities with a focus on building powerlifting in countries that do not have it, specifically communities in low income and at-risk areas around the world. So that's about it. I really encourage you to check out my website. I encourage you to check out the Facebook, Instagram. I encourage you to become a partner. I encourage you to donate to the cause. And helped me spread this community of powerlifting. And that is the greatest thing about the sport, is the community behind it. The community of lifters, the community of just all of the organizations that have come together to help create these sense of powerlifting fellowship around the world, and just help me to better the sport by growing it. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay classy and keep squatting.